Okay. So, hello everyone. My name is Matthew Manoj. I am a third year undergraduate in the Department of Biotechnology in IIT Kharagpur. And today I'll be presenting to you on the topic of AWS Bedrock and how you can use AWS services to make your own LLM application for almost no cost. Uh, as you might know, like AWS services is very famous now. But for the people who are not aware of what AWS is, let's just give a quick review on what it is. So AWS service is a digital cloud platforming service which will give you tools to be able to make your own application. So it has a lot of tools based on computation, based on databases, uh, based on being able to store your information and being able to uh, present your application, whatever you are making to the world. So AWS provides it's a cloud platforming service that provides you tools to be able to make whatever your application is and help whoever it is to be able to make it in a most easy and most cost efficient way. Like why, first of all, let's see why is it a top choice among a lot of companies in today's world. Like you can see here, like a lot of companies today, like 94% of the companies today, Adobe, General Electric, whatever I've put up here is only a fraction, like Siemens, Pfizer, all top companies like this use AWS services for their application. And there must be a reason for why this is so. Why there is a very wide margin between all the other cloud platforming services and Amazon Web Services. Like as you can see over here. Uh, you there are lots and lots of services that Amazon provides. First of all, it was the first to introduce this concept of cloud platforming service. It was the first in the game, and it and since then it has provided services according to user preferences. uh, and it's not just about the quantity, it is also about the fact that its infrastructure is closely knit together. So you can use different services together, not only for the fact that it has lots of features, like or lots of services like this, but those features go well together. Uh, they are very coherent with each other. So it uh, because of that ecosystem, people prefer to use it much more quicker and much more in a much more efficient manner. And also for the fact that here it is a serverless model. It does not like as you scale, as if you are making a product and as you are scaling it up, you do not have to worry about how the costs will be affected. You only use these AWS services according to how many clients use your product. So, for example, if you are making a chatbot and if there are 1,000 people using it per month, uh, based on the amount of tokens and amounts of responses you get, you only have to pay for that much. So it helps you auto scale and it is cost efficient, and that's why people prefer it much more. So, like the points that I just said here, affordable pricing, extensive service offering. Like what I mean to say is lots of services that it offers, and it gives a good infrastructure, and it's really scalable. Like I said, you do not have to worry about uh, what server you're going to use, how much bigger servers will cost much more. It AWS takes care of that by itself. And lastly, also of the fact that it uses emerging technologies like machine learning and AI technologies. So that's what we are here for today. AWS Bedrocks offers that service. So let me go to the next slide to show you that even though it gives you like 200 plus services, you only need to know only mainly few of these services like compute, like all of these services that I have mentioned here in this slide to be able to make a good application. Like EC2 is a virtual server that currently lot of applications are used. I will show you the use cases as well. And Lambda function can be used dynamically for whatever whatever product you're using. So you can see like for whatever product you're making, you dynamically write the code down for it and just tell it like how to take an API, how to respond to user uh, input and stuff like that. And storage as well. You can provide any storage like image files and text files and big documents, and based on how much documents you provide, it will scale according to that and show you the pay. And you can NoSQL databases also are very are used a lot in today's industry. And you can use a network and content delivery to suppose you are making a web page for yourself. You want everyone else in the world to know what the web page looks like. So you will be using you will be using services like these to be to let other people know what uh, to let people around the world be able to access your web page and see what it looks like. And finally, security and identity. This is quite a prominent feature in AWS service. It helps you control helps you control like which client has uh, access to what product. So it gives you control of who has access to what, and this keeps you your product and whatever product you make much more secure. Uh, and if you just go to their website to see what sort of services they provide, you can see like these are all just I just opened the web page and took a screenshot of it, and these are all just few of the product services that they provide. And based on whatever is your use case, whether it be IoT based or whether it be creating a SaaS platform, or whether it be the simple use case of making a web page, you can use AWS. You can use this service because it has a good ecosystem, and it can be flexible with using other Google with other platform service like Google Cloud service and Azure cloud service in, to make sure that it is you are comfortable with with using whatever service you want. Um, and then from all these services, we come. There is one service that we are here for today that we want to learn about is how AWS Bedrock. How does this come to play in all of this? So recently, AWS introduced AWS Bedrock. It is a service that gives you access to be able to use foundation models. Like it gives you access to um, recent models that you can use to make chatbots. So Llama 2 was recently introduced. That is a big model, and Anthropic Claude 2, which we uh, which we looked into past in the past few webinars, uh, is also used in this Bedrock. We can use all of these models to be able to make your own application. You do not have the thing is, you, as I said, you will only have to use a pay to go service. Like, what I mean by that is, you only pay for whatever you however you use it, and it's based on how much tokens you use. So it's not that much. You only pay like around a fraction, like 0.00 something dollars for per token, and that does not amount to too much. So it's almost near zero cost. I'll show you a code demo of it in the upcoming slides. But yeah, AWS Bedrock gives you access to latest models in the industry that people that startups today use for to make their uh, uh, products, which they use to make their products, like how we are in start making ImagineView to mine documents like that. You can it's based on your specific use case, like what you, if you want to make an image generation tool where you provide a prompt, and then based on it you give uh, an image text, or if you want to summarize a big document, then you just put that prompt inside the foundation model, and you see how it works. And yeah, these are just a few of the companies that provide uh, the foundation models. And yeah, as I said before, it is effortless to scale. Like, as you make your if when you're making your product, as you're making it more and more bigger, you uh, make, is there any doubt as of now? I think I might be going a bit too fast, but hopefully it is clear till here. Hello, am I audible?
Yes, yes, all good.
Okay.
Folks, you can ask questions by talking.
Yes, is there any doubt? I'm sorry, I might have gone a bit too fast. Ramesh Babu, is there any doubt? I guess not. If there is any doubt, please do let me know. I will slow down, and I will make sure to go through it. Yeah, if not, then I will continue. So as I was saying, AWS Bedrock, in the reason why this is an innovation in today's industry is that it can scale effortlessly, and it has good security, like the points that I mentioned before. That the main points are like, you only have to pay for whatever services you use. You control the aspects of who gets to access what in your use case, or in your product, whatever product you're making. And you get to control like who does what, and you get to monitor uh, how your like how your product is used in real time. I will show you through a use case in a code, in a simple use case of a project that I have made using this AWS Bedrock to show you that you can also make your own products using these LLM models. Uh, yes, so the features, as I said, these models are open source, so you don't have to pay like you do for ChatGPT, where you access the API for a certain amount of cost. You only have to pay for whatever for the amount of prompts you provide, and and the points that as mentioned before, scale. The AWS takes care of the scaling for you, so that you don't have to worry about it, and you can use it to make whatever projects or uh, products you want to use, and you can use latest LLMs to be able to make it. And if you prefer to deploy your application, uh, if you choose to deploy your application not on AWS, you can also make your product based on it and deploy it in Google Cloud and Azure or other deployment services. Uh, is there any way to uh, deploy? Is there any way to deploy OpenAI GPT models in Bedrock? Yes, there is. I will show you what models are available in Bedrock, and then you can see for yourself on how to use that in whatever use case you prefer. Is there any other doubt? Hope that clears the doubt, Manikandan.
No, did you say I missed that? You said there is a way to deploy GPT in Bedrock?
Mm, I said that I will show you the use cases of what models that you can deploy on Bedrock, and then you can choose for yourself what you
No,
want
so basically
to.
we are saying GPT is not available. As per my understanding, GPT is not available in Bedrock. But GPT is a
Yes,
pure API from OpenAI. So,
yes.
but somehow
Not
Anthropic,
OpenAI.
hmm,
Anthropic and other open source models can be used, but for
right.
to be able to access OpenAI GPT, you will have to pay for uh, their models, so that based on the amount of tokens
So
you will
Bedrock
be
may
able
be
to.
just a dumb middleman. So if we want a GPT in Bedrock, the Bedrock will be merely be a dumb middleman. We still have to have OpenAI API subscription and have a payment going on there. So
Okay, so it is like a service to be able to use found open source models like Cloud V2 and
right, right.
models offered by uh, AI 21 Labs. I will show you the companies that have chosen to use open source models, and they are actually good in comparison to OpenAI. I mean, OpenAI is obviously a much more bigger model than these open source models, but for not for all applications, you actually need to use OpenAI GPT 3.5 and 4. Uh, you can use smaller models to make better services. Bedrock is similar to use. Does that clear the your question, Manikandan? Hopefully it does. So basically, I don't think OpenAI is available on AWS. It's just basically a service that helps you use open source models for a minimal cost, for not too much of a cost. Like Vivek sir said, it's like a middleman. I will show you what it actually looks like. Bedrocks, maybe okay. I'm not sure of Azure AI service, but okay. I know that AWS Bedrock does something similar to that. Okay, cool. If anyone has any other doubt, please do put it in the chat box. I will make sure to reply to that. Apart from that, I will continue. So yeah, uh, as I mentioned, like these are features of how you can use Bedrock to uh, deploy your own application. Uh, and these are the features what Bedrock provides. Yeah, so this is what I was saying about how you can monitor what you are doing using AWS Bedrock. So you can assess what for what purpose you use Bedrock, and you can plan your own architecture of how you're going to integrate uh, models in Bedrock and use AWS services to make your own uh, uh, application based on whatever use case it is, and deploy and migration. So, as I was saying before, you can use AWS Bedrock without the worry of uh, um, how you're going to handle scaling up and scaling down. And yeah, few of the challenges before we go to challenges, let me show you of how like certain use cases, like it can be as simple as just providing the API to your Lambda function. Like it will be a place where it will interact with uh, the user. It'll take the API request. Lambda function will have the model ID and stuff like that to be able to access the foundational models. Then it will take the response and then give back the response in the front end. And this can be another use case where you can use a static website to be able to host maybe your web page. You have your own web page. You want to use it, say, as a portfolio to show to interviewers, like, okay, this is the projects I've done. This is what I do, and you can store it in the backend, and you do not have to pay too much. As I said again, you only pay for how many times the client has uh, accessed your web page. And then here you can use it to also make complex uh, products like data. It's like stock trading agent, where you provide here again the API request of foundational models, and then use Amazon SageMaker, another service that is used for machine learning in AWS. Uh, and this is what I was saying of how the ecosystem here is very user friendly. So it will these services here will be coherent with each other. Let me show you a simple use case of how I used AWS service to make a chatbot of my own using a model, one of the models here in AWS Bedrock. So let me come here. So this is a basic website where I made this all using Python, where you provide the prompt to the chatbot. It will go behind the server and go to these AWS services. So I will show you the Lambda function here. Like that is also one of the service to be able to uh, see to be able to process whatever request comes. So here you will just take the user input, and then it will be passed in as a JSON request, and here basically it will be passed into the model, and then the response will come back again as a JSON output, and then it will show the response here as the chatbot as I mean how the however the model has processed it. So let me start off with something simple. Like this is just a sample prompt, like a sample text that I put in. Maybe we could put this, but first let's start off with something simple. Like, hi there, chatbot, how are you doing? I mean, it does not have any feelings or nothing, but uh, hopefully it will give some output. So yeah, it gave an output here, chatbot's verdict. This is a large language model, doesn't therefore does not have feelings or consciousness or ability. Like as I said, it's a chatbot. Okay,
So how are you
maybe
talking
we
to the backend service through Lambda API?
yes. So I got the API through the
Hmm.
Lambda function here. It
Hmm.
Lambda function here provides the function URL. So I use this and I provided it to my Python function, which I will show you right now. It will take the API request and it will give the response. I will
Got it.
show the uh, code also. So app.py. Here, you can use Streamlit. It is a very simple library to be able to make a website. So this is just a text. It takes a text input. Here I pass in the API URL. It takes the text from the user, passes it as a JSON request here, and gets the response. And then if the response is coming out correct, then it will. This is
Hmm.
just for
Hmm.
checking out if the request is coming out properly,
And
and then it will.
which LLM was had you deployed in the backend?
Okay, so here I have deployed LLM called Amazon Titan Express V1.
I see. Okay.
There are multiple
Hmm.
models that you can use. So let's see how the chatbot actually works, if it's working for other responses, and then I'll show you how you can actually use Amazon Bedrock to be able to use models of your own. Like if you choose not to use this Amazon type model, it is not that much of a big model. You can use also Cloud V2 and all, but let's try it out and see. How about what is the tallest tower in the world? It's chatbot's verdict, and then yeah, it comes out here. It's not that updated, but it says Burj Khalifa. Maybe it is Burj Khalifa is the tallest one.
And you have
Uh,
basically made this client using Streamlit Python, huh?
yes,
Okay, got it.
and I've made the front end using Streamlit, and
Hmm.
the backend it processes the input and
Hmm.
uh, gives the response using the
Good.
Lambda function,
Nice.
and which is also an AWS service.
Good, good.
Okay, what? Okay, these are all simple prompts. How about we go to a sample one that AWS Bedrock provides here? So if we come to the web page over here, we'll be able to see what other models that this AWS service provides. So as you can see, Claude is one of the
So would
leading.
you say this is like a model store?
Yeah, this is a model. You could say like this is a model store to be able to access LLM models, like
Because two
to
days back,
be.
I launched GPT Store. So it seems very similar. So OpenAI GPT
Um,
Store and Bedrock seem similar, and both of them are sort of model stores. Like there is an app store here, I have an AI model store.
yes, you could say that this is in specific to LLM models to for
Right, right.
specific use cases like text summarization, image generation, and for specific use cases.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, but yeah, it you could say in a way it is like a model store, but for open source models where you can use it for minimal cost. Yeah, so as I was saying, hopefully it's clear what I'm trying to say. what I'm trying to say is that you can use other models other than the model which I'm using now, which is a small model. You can use the Claude model, like I showed you, which is given by Anthropic. You can use command model, which is by Cohere, and then Jurassic 2 series. That is also a big model, which is given by AI 21 Labs, and Llama 2 model, which is released by Meta, that is also open source right now. You can use the small one and the big one. And if you choose, and like stable diffusion here, and there are much more models here. And if you choose to want to use one of these models, you can use, suppose you want to use Llama 2 model here. It will help you go through on how to use these models. So there is like, okay, it will tell you, give you examples of how you can use the model. But since I don't have the access now, I will show you how you can use Amazon model. So it will tell you what this model is about and how you can use it as an API request here. So here you'd have to pass in the model ID like this and container. I'll show you where it is actually used. But yeah, it gives you examples of uh, helps you go through in a step-by-step way of how to use these models, and it also gives you examples like, okay, uh, how about action items from a meeting? That is a text summarization. So right now I have in the Lambda model here, I mean, the Lambda service here, I have mentioned that max token that it outputs should be around 20 tokens. That means each token uh, in in a total text summarization in a text, one-fourth of the text will be considered as a token. So I mean, three-fourth of the text will be considered as a token, and then based on that, you will create tokens for whatever you're creating. So I have created that maximum output should be 20, because this is a small model. It handles only to be able to give small output. Based on models, bigger models you use, you can increase it to 100 tokens or 200 tokens, and or something like that. Uh, but you can maybe use this example and see whether it works for the chatbot or not. So you can put here this prompt, and maybe it'll give a verdict on uh, what what they're trying to say here. So as I mentioned, here it since this was only like it was only we had only told it to give 20 token long output. So it gave us like this. Usually if it was like 100 tokens or so, it would give like Miguel is telling everyone to uh, finish their work. uh, what else? Brandt is telling to sign up everything. Namita is telling there is some issue. So it would give the output over here. Uh, so if you want, you could increase the amount of tokens and max amount of tokens. But for me here it tends to give an error. But you can, based on your whatever use case it is for whatever product you make, you can change the model. So if I wanted to use, say, suppose another text model, so I just go down here to Amazon Bedrock. We go to Amazon here, the providers, and then we suppose you don't want to use this text view. You can use the text G1 Lite or text G1 Express, and it's a bigger model, so it can give you a better output. So you just have to change this model ID and applications and all, and then in a simple way you can change the uh, model you use, and you can get to know like how your model is working based on your AWS service. So now I'm passing this prompt like here. I'm able to say like, okay, I use this Lambda function. I connected to the API. The API takes the request from the user. It passes it to the Lambda function. It takes it, then that lambda function takes the response from the model, it gives back the response here, and then this response is passed through the streamlit Python code that I made, and then it gets printed out over here. So based on whatever product you are making, you can change it up over here, and the code here and there will only change, but most of the time only you'll have to change the model ID and how you're passing in the input text. So this will be the only part that will change up a lot. And if you want to monitor like how the logs and all is working in your application, you can just go into this lambda function. You can go into the monitor and you can see CloudWatch monitor logs. That is also another AWS service. Uh, you can check out what and all prompts we had given, who gave it, and you get to control uh, who is doing what here. So as you can see now, around 12:30, I had created a prompt and it gave an output. And these are all the other tests. So you can get to control what is doing what here. Also, if you want to see how the architecture is working, you can go over here to this API gateway. You can check out uh, uh, how you are passing this. So yeah, as you can see here, it takes uh, from the client, it takes the method, it takes the API request, it passes to the lambda function, and then this is the lambda function I have created called use Bedrock. It will take the response from the model and then it will pass back again. So this is one of the very simple chatbot applications you can make using this. And since AWS offers much more bigger services than this, and as I showed you the multiple use cases that you can uh, do using this AWS service, you can make applications of your own, and you can check out how much you pay for each and every token. So you will get to see that over here. It will let you know of the pricing, view pricing. You can go and check there for how much for which models, how the pricing will be. So per thousand output tokens, it'll only cost like zero this much amount of dollars, which doesn't even come to like 5 rupees or something like that. So if you, unless you're making a very big model, the price is not too much of a difference for whatever models you use. Uh, but yeah, this is how you can use Amazon Bedrock to make your own application. This is one of the most simplest uh, applications I've made. You can change this up to make like image prompt. I'll just have to pass in the text. It'll give the chatbot. I mean, the bot will give the verdict, and then maybe it'll print out a picture, or maybe you want to put a big document. So okay, you will change up the Python file, the main app Python file for this website, and then uh, based on whatever model you choose to use inside your AWS service, it will pass a prompt and it will give the summarization over here. uh, but yeah, this is like at the end, this is how you can you can leverage a Amazon Bedrock to be able to make your own application. uh, Finally, I'd just like to end with how like how how innovative, how big of a deal AWS Bedrock is, that you can make your own LLM, you can make your application for no cost, and you can keep trying out and making your own things, and at any point you can get to know about how much you are spending and all through the AWS services that AWS provides. So as the point says over here, seamless LLM deployments, making it easy to deploy unlocking potential using cloud infrastructure. So that is just basically using services on the internet to be able to make your life easier. And you can, if you go down the line in the route of making your own startup, you can use AWS services to easily deploy your models. Uh, but yeah, this is about it for how you can use AWS Bedrock to be able to make your own chatbot applications. Uh, if anyone has any doubt, they can let me know now.
Hey Matthew, thanks for the demo. This is Anirudh. So I have a couple of
Okay,
questions. First one
sure.
is just first is how do you interact with the model, right? I think I missed the code part. So do you access the model through the API, AWS Bedrock API, or some other way?
Sure. Let me show you how it works. So I use a function called Lambda function. You would, yes, as you said, you would be using an API to access the open source model.
Okay.
And yeah, that's about it. Like you just go here onto their Amazon Bedrock website.
Hmm.
You will get to see like these are the foundation models, like the models which are not fine tuned yet, and you can use your own for based on whatever use case it is for yours, for your company. Maybe it is to train on like certain applications like
Got it.
health. Yeah, yeah. So you will just go through here. You will see like for based on whatever model it is, based on whatever provider, or like for these labs, it will be different, and how you pass in the prompt will be different. But that's about the point. You just come here, take the API, see how you integrate it with whatever language you're using. So I'm using Python because that is easier for me to write. And then the only part will be changing here is the model ID and how you pass in the user, and that will vary
Got
actually.
it.
You will get to know from the website itself.
Yeah, got it. Okay, yeah, that answers my question. Thanks. The second question I had is the different models that we have, right? If you go to the AWS Bedrock, you showed a bunch of base models, right? The store kind of a thing. So
Yeah.
so do you have any idea how do those models vary compared to each other, and how do you go about choosing the right model for your use case?
Okay, so this is not like a straightforward question. It's based on like what you are trying to make for. Suppose if it is like a document summarization thing, you would
Hmm.
obviously it will take much more amount of tokens to be able to summarize the document. So you would use bigger models, but like it is also not like it is based on different factors. Like and it's not like you will use just a bigger model. You will get a better answer and stuff like that. Sometimes medium-sized models can also work. So that goes into much more deeper conversation. Uh, uh, like which what is your use case and how you are going to use it and stuff like that.
Mm. But
Uh,
as a consumer, how should we go about it? Like, should we experiment between different models and based on the happiness of the results we choose it, or is there any technical way of going about it?
like what do you mean? Like as a consumer, like you mean as a person who's going to use your product, or as a person who's going to be making your product?
Yeah,
It is
making a product using the models.
okay. So yes, different models will give different outputs. So that is based on like what is you want to do. Uh, like if and like it is seen here like for and Amazon models like okay, I will show, I'm kind of getting a bit derailed. My hand is all over the place, but you can see it. Like if I suppose give a very complex answer like how's the weather today, this is a very small model, keep in mind, so it will not be able to give a proper answer. it will give you an answer like, unfortunately, I do not have the real-time capabilities. While if you train it on like other models, like suppose Claude V2 models and other models, it will give you a much more better answer. Uh, like, okay, suppose you want to know like what is the best movie in the world. That is very what that's based on person to person, right? So it will give you a very generic answer in the world. So it is based on like what you find right. You can, yes, as you said, you can experiment between different things.
Okay.
You but keep in mind, as you use bigger models, you will also incur lots of cost. So it's not like if you use the bigger model, you get best result. It is up to you how you experiment and what model you use to generate your result. Like if you want to keep it cost optimized here, then you will have to use medium-sized models. If you want to use, if you are like okay with spending, then you can use Claude V2, the best option. Uh, but yeah, it's based on the use case. Hopefully, I
Got it.
was not
Got it.
all over the place.
No, I think I got the picture. Yeah, thanks.
Cool, cool. Is there any other doubt? I think I saw another doubt here. Can you please zoom to the other two cases as well? What two cases do you mean, Ganesh? Are you there?
He's mentioning
Hello.
about that pictures, I think.
Okay, the four use case slides. Okay, I will share you the PPT as well. You can get through it. So these are all very simple use cases. So yeah, like this is the one which I showed you right now, where you pass in the API use case and then the model gives back the output. This is another use case with in you be able to present your whatever website you want to present based on like whatever you want to do, whether if it's a blog or if it's a newsletter, something like that. You will be able to use AWS services. This is like in generic what you will how you will use AWS service, and this is in case of in use case of how you could possibly use like these models to like make your application. Maybe
Can
there
you,
is something. Yeah, you had a doubt.
can you expand? See, that picture is very small. That's what he's asking.
Oh,
And the other one, I mean,
so
the agent. Yeah, even this. Yeah, that
this
one.
one.
Yeah.
Okay, this is also not too much of a big use case where like you will in stock trading agent you will each and every day you will have to see how the stock prices rise and fall. So this will be like constant monitoring. Then it will pass through the we will store whatever is historic data over here. Maybe you will be using a big model to be able to find out patterns in the historic data, and then it will give you like a decision like, okay, today the stock price is going to uh, fall, so you maybe hold, and today it's going to fall, maybe you sell it. If it rises, maybe you hold the value. And yeah, this is like also like what I said, like train the model, see the strategy, what basically what decision you're going to take. And yeah, based on that, then you'll take decisions over here. And then maybe you can use your own model also, like pass in the lambda function to be able to see, yeah, like how I told you, you will monitor whatever is going on in the backend as well. Whatever is being passed through, you will be seeing. Hopefully that clears the doubt. You
Yeah,
want
but
to?
see, this one, sorry, I mean, this particular thing is the SageMaker pipeline where we are actually doing the ML models, right? But
Okay.
when it comes to, now you want to compare, right? See your LLM model, and then
Mhm.
on top of that, you want to build your custom model. Is that something which is possible or no?
Yes, so you will. There is also a section under Amazon Bedrock where it's called custom model. So these models are used to find patterns in your data, right? So you can that's what I said, like these are all just base models. These are all like just will see like the patterns. The LLM is what it will try to see. It is a transformer where it will try to see the patterns in like the data you give, and based on that it will give you an understandable solution like as an output. So here also, based on whatever use case it is, if you want it to output values instead of text, then based on that you can change the upper layer of that LLM model, and you can change it such that you are giving it value. So it will say like, okay, the value is falling. This is the suggested strategy. Do this. I mean, I'm not an expert in that field, but I'm just these are just possible use cases maybe where you can use this. I found this online, like where you can use these sort of services to make something of your own. Hopefully that answers your doubt. Hello.
Okay. Yeah, thank
Hopefully
you.
I'm not too all over
And
the place. I
this,
will provide the PPT as well for you to go
yeah,
through.
and the security, how is the security done here?
Okay. So there is also a service for that called IAM roles, where you will
That's the
assign
standard AWS thing, no?
So that's how the secure it is. You will be able to make sure like who is accessing what for your Bedrock. Right. This Bedrock is just a way to provide you with the models, and since it is a part of AWS, you can integrate it with IAM rules to to make sure your application is secure. And that's what I meant by these Bedrock being a secure way to uh, make your own application on based on whatever you're doing. Is that cool, Mohammed?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Is there any other doubt? If you need to add any custom.
I had one uh, point to make, basically, Manoj.
Okay.
You said, and also Vivek sir said, it's a store of models, etc. And given a use case, you choose a particular model to use. Can you also choose multiple models, stitch it, so that one model's output goes into another model? For example, you take the text and you get the text answer, and then you convert the text to an image. For example, you use another model. Can we do that here, like stitching the models?
Okay, so I understand your question. You are trying to ask me if it is possible, like in this same code, like if you can reference to one model and then from that response you give it to another model. Is that what you're
Absolutely,
asking?
absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely. Yeah.
So I have not had the chance to try that out, but a possible solution for that is you can
Mhm.
link multiple Lambda functions. Like you can take the response from this and then pass it to another Lambda function over here.
Okay.
Then
Okay.
that from that Lambda function you'll be able to get the output and then pass it and connect it back here to the API gateway, and then yeah,
Okay.
based on your use case. It may be possible. I'm not sure if
Mhm.
you can do it in the same Lambda function, but that is a possible solution for it.
Okay. Got it. Got it. Yeah. Thank you. Thanks for the answer.
Okay, cool. Any other uh, question? I'll be happy to answer if there is any other question regarding Bedrock. If not,
So,
I guess.
so good session. Audience, any final questions?
One last question. Manoj, have you done any like, for example, while solving any use case or while working on Bedrock, have you done any comparative study of the various models for a given use case, for example, in terms of speed, training time, what is the memory requirement, like that, various parameters that we want to consider while creating an application. Which model to go for, which is the best one to go for a particular use case. Any comparative study
Okay.
like that?
Okay. So you're asking if I know like comparatively how this
Yeah,
model is better to what and like
better.
for what.
Yes, correct.
Okay. So the thing is, this is my first application in this, but
Okay.
I have a theoretical knowledge of like how LLMs work. Like it all comes down to your use case. Like I mentioned to another person before,
Yeah.
like now initially there used to be like, okay, you use a bigger model, you will get a better uh, like output, like you will get a
Hmm.
much more detailed response, but not a lot of people can afford that big computational service. So they will want to be like, okay, we want it in a much more cheaper way, and we want it to give the same amount of response. So there have been studies on that. There is also actually a study where you use like a middle sized model, like like this. There are models like which have, okay, I will show you.
Hmm.
uh like, give me 1 minute. Amazon. Right, yes. So when it says like 70B, oh wait, not this one. I will go to Meta itself. Huh? When it says 70B, 13B, 70B, what does it mean? Like these are all just like amount of parameters there. So like these are like 70 billion parameters it uses, 13 billion parameters. So this is a small model, and there is a big model. So like based on like how these small and big models, like there has been studies, like there is also studies of how you can use PEFT, where you can reduce the amount of information if it's too much, and get like almost the same result as if you are putting like the whole document through a big model. So you don't have to use a big model. You can just truncate some of the information that you're passing through that model, and then you can pass it through a small model, and you can get almost a similar result. So there is certain case studies like that I have studied. uh, in a course, I can suggest you a course on that, which I was suggested by Vivek sir in
Okay.
Coursera, called generative AI using LLMs and all. Vivek sir would be happy to suggest you that. But in that, they have discussed different use cases like this, where you don't have to always use the big models, but you can almost achieve the similar results. Hopefully that answers your question. Uh,
Yes, yes, yeah, sort of. Thank you so much.
all right, Harsha. If there's any other doubt, I'd be happy to answer.
Yeah, I'm
If
good.
not, okay. If not, yeah, that's about it. I will be happy to provide Vivek sir with the PPT, and then you can go through. And then if there's any doubt, we can discuss in the group.
Okay, thanks, Manoj. Nice session. And thank you, audience, for joining. So a good intro to Bedrock, which is a LLM, marketplace or orchestration platform for open source LLM. So in fact, I can tell you for my own ImagineView product, since we have GPT-4 so far, that's a direct API call from our AWS stack. But for the Llama 2 version of our ImagineView product, we are indeed considering Bedrock-based Llama 2 orchestration because it's just too easy, right? We can, of course, download Llama 2 from any number of portals like Hugging Face or Llama 2 website itself, and set it up natively on our AWS. But it is just easier to orchestrate Llama 2 from AWS Bedrock, and the price so far is also quite nominal. So we are planning to use Llama 2 in AWS Bedrock for our product. So it just makes it easier. That's all. and it is very nominally priced. But yes, the danger with AWS services over the long term is that once they see massive adoption of a service, then they start jacking up the prices. So same thing happened with SageMaker. So let's see. For now, Bedrock is quite economical, and startups like us will try to use it. Thank you, Matthew, for that intro. Thank you, audience, for joining, and we'll see you in future sessions.
Thank you, everyone.